Hey Screamers, welcome back to another Screaming for Horror video. This is Rain, how are ya? The Final Destination series has produced some of the most successful movies of recent times. With a great plot line initially intended to be an episode of The X-Files and some of the goriest on-screen deaths ever made, Final Destination is about a group of kids who cheat death, yet in the end, everyone ends up dying in some sort of freaky and unexpected way, either days or months after they were meant to die. But what happens when life imitates art, so to speak? What happens when these weird occurrences happen to normal people like you and me? These next stories feel as if they were taken straight out of the Final Destination franchise themselves, except they did happen. They cheated death once, and unfortunately by the end, death came back to claim them. These are Sinister and Eerie, real-life Final Destination cases. Number 1. Fagiliu Mukhamet. On June 24, 2011, a woman from Russia complained about chest pains to her husband. Later, a local doctor had pronounced the woman dead. While friends and family gathered to mourn at the woman's funeral, the casket suddenly flew open, only to reveal that she was still alive. As the woman screamed in horror in front of everyone, she collapsed. 12 minutes later, she died of a heart attack due to shock in the hospital. Number 2. Elsie Bud Warren and Phyllis Jean writings. In 2007, Elsie Bud Warren and his daughter Phyllis Jean Ridings from Texas survived a plane crash after their homemade aircraft caught on fire. I give all the credit to God and my father's flying skills, Ridings said after the 2007 crash. He saved our lives. In 2011, 4 years after the incident, they lost their lives in a plane crash nonetheless. The plane was being prepared for an upcoming air show when the cockpit began to fill with smoke. Soon after, the plane crashed in a ball of fire and both of them lost their lives. Number 3. Jessica de Lima Rohl. 21-year-old college student Jessica de Lima Rohl helped her classmates sell tickets to an event at a famous local club called Kiss Nightclub. That same night, when she was getting ready to go to the event, her boyfriend who lived in the neighboring town begged her not to go to the concert. On January 13, 2013, the news broke that the club had caught on fire due to the band's pyrotechnics malfunctioning. 238 people were killed that night, some of them due to the toxic fumes, while others were crushed trying to escape. Jessica was lucky to be alive thanks to her boyfriend, who she called her guardian angel. But sadly, 5 days later, she was picking up her boyfriend up from work when their car collided head-on with the truck, killing Jessica instantly and her boyfriend the following day. Number 4. Hilda Yolanda Mayo. On September 11, 2001, when the World Trade Center suffered terrible terrorist attacks, a few people were lucky enough to make it out alive. One of them was Hilda Yolanda Mayo, who at the time was working inside a restaurant on the ground floor. 2 months later, Hilda sent her mother and 2 kids to her native Dominican Republic. She would join them 2 weeks later. Tragically, Hilda was aboard Flight 589, the same one that crashed into the New York borough of Queens on November 12, in which all passengers were killed. Number 5. Jessica Redfield. Jessica Redfield was one of the 12 unfortunate souls who lost their lives at the famous Dark Knight Rises movie theater massacre in Aurora, Colorado. The young red-headed sportscaster/blogger from Texas had previously survived the Eaton Seton Mall shooting in Toronto, which left 1 person dead and several wounded. She decided to go outside and take a breath of fresh air instead of grabbing some sushi at the time. If not, she would have ended up right on the line of fire. I can't get this odd feeling out of my chest. This empty, almost sickening feeling won't go away. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around how weird a feeling saved me from being in the middle of a deadly shooting. Sadly, a month later, her life was cut short at the theater. Number 6. A. Evans. Evans-Gayling and her husband took their 5-year-old nephew in after he survived through a severe tornado that destroyed his beloved home. While the child's parents went back to pick up the pieces and tried to restore what was left of it, they left their kids with the Gaylings. Later that day, the child was crying while putting on his shoes. His aunt was trying to calm him down, but apparently their 150-pound bull mastiff thought that he was attacking her, and therefore lunged towards the boy, fatally mauling him, puncturing his neck and head. The boy was rushed to the hospital, where later he was pronounced dead. Number 7. David Furr. On December 13, 1977, the entire basketball team of the University of Evansville was tragically killed in an airplane crash right after liftoff. The only team member who did not board the plane due to injuries to his ankle was freshman David Furr, only to be killed 2 weeks later by a drunk driver, along with his brother. Therefore, by the end of 1977, all the members of the Purple Aces basketball team had passed away. Number 8. Joanna Ganthaler. A French woman by the name of Joanna Ganthaler was vacationing in Brazil with her husband when they arrived late to the airport to catch their plane back to France. 4 hours before the plane was able to reach Paris, it crashed into the Atlantic, killing all 228 people on board. The couple made it back to France the following day safely. 2 weeks after the horrible incident with the airplane, Ganthaler sadly died when her car veered across the road in Kufstein, Austria, and swerved into an oncoming truck, killing her instantly. Number 9. Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey, a famous Jamaican political leader and activist known for his Black nationalism and Pan-Americanism movement, passed away due to reading a mistaken obituary of himself. While reading the obituary/article written by the people of the Chicago Defender, Garvey suffered a stroke. Once he had realized what they had written about him, and I quote, "Mr. Garvey died broke, alone, and unpopular." This prompted him to have a second stroke and died. Number 10. Ye Meng Yuan and Wang Lingya. On July 6, 2013, Asiana Flight 214 crashed at the San Francisco International Airport. While people were running amok amid the panic, trying to get the passengers free from their seats and helping others around, firefighters were arriving at the scene and were dousing the aircraft in fire-retardant foam to control the engulfing flames. No one knows exactly how 16-year-old Yang Meng came to be lying on the ground just 30 feet away, but she managed to get covered completely with the foam, making her invisible to the eye and, sadly, a fire truck. Unaware that someone was there, the fire truck backed up, killing Yuan and her classmate Wang. In a tragic turn of events, they were the only victims of the accident. The other 305 passengers all survived. We've reached the end of our video for today, Screamers. Don't forget to stay tuned, because rage is coming. If you have a ghostly experience, a close encounter, or want to share any photos or videos of strange phenomena, feel free to send us an email to screamingforhorror@gmail.com, and your story could be featured in one of our future videos. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Subscribe and follow us on our Facebook page for more. And remember, until next time, sweet screams.